both Emily and Ryan in college. We were all a part of the same initiate group for Phi Sigma Pi, and their relationship is just one where you know that it is. There's no questions, and it shines through in the way that they not only love each other, but they transfer that love onto their friends and family.
Well, I first met Ryan. We're working at the same hospital together at Northside Hospital. I met him when I started training him for the first time. He likes to say he met me on the elevator, and that's how our story began. And ever since then, with his dry sense of humor and my sarcasm, we just naturally got along very well. Honestly, just the way they look at each other and the way they just sort of laugh with each other. I've never seen Emily without a smile on her face when she's around Ryan. And I mean, anyone that could deal with Ryan's dry sense of humor, they're good together.
I met Emily and Ryan in the spring of 2019. It was at the recruitment events for Phi Sigma Pi. Well, they're both the biggest nerds ever, aside from Israel and myself. Gosh, I just love them both so much. They're both so amazing, and they just instantly vibe with each other at these recruitment events. I know that they were in different places in their lives at the time, but it was just so amazing seeing them like come together and become such great friends, and then have their relationship evolve into the beautiful match that it is today.
In the womb.
Okay.
So I'm his twin brother.
Yeah.
26 lovely years ago. And literal day one, pretty much. It seemed relatively recent. You know, we all change as people throughout the years, but it's been more, in the past couple of years, he's grown as a person, and you know, I have a lot more stories, but he's just changed his attitude about a lot of things, and more pleasant human being.
Okay.
It took us a while to meet her to begin with, but I guess for the first couple times, just seeing how she dealt with him, he isn't necessarily the easiest person to deal with, but just watching how patient she was and helped him. And it's just kind of how we knew at that point.
Cheers.
Cheers, little one.
Little one.
So I actually met Ryan first through a mutual friend. And I found that later on once I met Emily. And I met Emily for the first time at Catherine's bachelorette party. We were at Dr. Bombay's tea place, and next door was a wedding gown shop. So we had tea, and it was the most amazing thing. Emily is fantabulous because she planned so many different games for Catherine, and it was great. But then we went next door, and we were talking, and she was saying, you know, I think Ryan's gonna propose soon, probably in September. And so we were like, you should try on some wedding dresses. She was like, okay. So she tried on a few, and she came out in one that was just so absolutely beautiful. It looked amazing on her. I didn't even know her that well at this time, and I just started bawling. And so that's when like we became instant best friends. We've been hanging out ever since then. Our birthdays are like a day apart. Mine's March 18th, hers is March 19th, and she's just such a beautiful soul. Every time I'm around her, it just makes me so much happier. And Lucas, my fiance, says, I can tell you talk to Emily because you're a little bit off the wall right now, but it's always good energy. Honestly, I don't really have any stories. It's just really the feeling that you get when you're around them. It's almost like they're two planets in each other's orbit. It's like a gravitational field. You can just feel that the love and all of the intentions behind their love. It's so pure, and it's awesome to be around.
I'm Ryan's cousin, so I met him when I was about 12. I moved down to Charlotte about 10 years ago, and we actually lived together. I lived with his parents and all of my other cousins for the first 6 months, so that's when we got to really know each other. But I've technically known him since diapers. I think probably when my aunt talked about them sitting around and watching Disney movies together and just chilling and hanging out. And then after a few times of hanging out with them, we always try to hang out whenever they come into town to visit. So that's probably when.
Okay.